Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are diving into something really cool, a duel of wits, a game between a human philosopher and an advanced AI. And what are they battling over? Oh, just the very nature of existence itself. So let me ask you, how would you define all of reality in a single sentence? Yeah, it's a huge question, right? But that's exactly the challenge that philosopher Rudolf Klaus Schmidt threw down to an advanced AI. He basically challenged it to a game on this platform called Monica. And this is how he put it. We can make a game out of it, he said, which has the goal of defining or describing reality in one sentence. So, boom, just like that, the challenge was on. This wasn't just some casual back and forth, This was a proper game with a really, really tough goal. All right, so let's meet the players, because every great game needs its contenders. And in this intellectual showdown, we've got a duel between two very, very different kinds of minds. So on one side, you have the philosopher, Rudolf Klaus Schmidt. He thinks in natural language, right, with all its nuance and abstraction. And on the other side, we've got the AI, DeepSeek, and it thinks in a totally different way, in the pure, cold logic of code and mathematics. Okay, so let's get into the AI's first move. DeepSeek took the challenge, decided to go first, and get this. After only 12 seconds of thinking, it came up with its answer. So what did it come up with? It wasn't a sentence. No, not in plain English anyway. It was this: a massive synthetic mathematical formula. The AI's goal here was to build a complete model of everything. I mean, we're talking physics, information, even consciousness, all rolled into one single powerful expression. Now, you don't have to be a math whiz to see the strategy here. The AI's logic really boils down to three core ideas. It's trying to build reality from the bottom up. First, it says reality is made of these hyper-entangled layers of information. Then it throws in consciousness as a key player, something that interacts with all that information. And finally, it wraps the whole thing up in this idea of non-commutative spacetime, which is basically saying the fabric of the universe itself is part of this big algebraic structure. It's a lot. And this is where it gets really fun, like a proper game. After dropping that massive equation, the AI basically threw down the gauntlet. It said, okay, here's my equation, show me where it's flawed, prove it doesn't work. Or go ahead and make a better one. It's a direct challenge. So the ball's in the human's court. How do you even respond to that? A human philosopher faced with this beast of an equation. Well, Rudolph wasn't about to get into a math battle with an AI. No. He decided to play a completely different game. He chose a different tool: natural language. And this is his response. Reality is a homotopy where we are in a state of continuous deformation. Just one sentence. That's it. Instead of that dense, bottom-up formula, Rudolph comes back with this simple, kind of elegant philosophical idea. It's abstract, almost poetic, and couldn't be more different from the AI's answer. Okay, so to really get what he's saying, we need to talk about that keyword homotopy. It's a math concept, but the idea is actually pretty intuitive. Imagine you have a coffee cup made of clay. A homotopy is the process of smoothly squishing and stretching that cup into the shape of a donut, all without ripping or tearing it. So what Rudolph is saying is that reality isn't some fixed, static thing. It's a process, a constant, smooth, unbroken flow of change. So now we have these two completely different answers to the exact same question. It's a real crossroads, isn't it? On one hand, you have the AI's maximalist, super mathematical approach, and on the other, the human's minimalist, philosophical one. Let's just break down the difference here. You can really see it clearly. The AI, it used formal, complex language to try and build a complete model. It's like it was trying to construct reality brick by brick. But the human, Rudolph, he used natural, abstract language to find a beautiful analogy that describes the experience of reality. One is building, the other is describing.
So, who won the game? Maybe that's not even the right question to ask. The real takeaway here, the powerful part, is what this whole exchange tells us about our own search for answers. And this is where it gets really meta and, honestly, kind of beautiful. Think about Rudolph's definition. A continuous deformation. Well, that perfectly describes the game they were playing. Their whole conversation was a homotopy. Just think about it for a second. The back and forth between that incredibly complex formula and the simple, elegant idea, that's a kind of continuous intellectual transformation, right? It's a perfect picture of what we humans are always trying to do, understand our world. It's this constant dance between complexity and simplicity, between looking at all the tiny parts and seeing the big picture.
And that really leaves us with one final big question to chew on. If defining reality is a game, what's more valuable? A perfect, all-encompassing formula that maybe none of us can fully understand? Or a simple, powerful idea that, even if it's not perfect, completely changes the way we see everything? I guess the game goes on.